You might be thinking about selling your home in today's market, or you already have your home up in the market for sale, whether it's a condo, a detached home, or a semi-detached home, or you're just trying to understand what's going on in today's market. Why are some of these homes staying in the market for this long? And what are some of the solutions that are out there that you can take on today and apply on some of the listings that you already have in the market, or you want to put your property up in December of 2024. Now, I have 4 points for you on this. The first problem you're encountering as a seller is the uncertainty that buyers currently have. How is this affecting you? The second problem we'll have here is the oversupply that is in the market today. Then the third problem, the seller expectation. This, we're going to dive deep into this because there's a lot of issues that are going on with this today. Then the last one, which is obviously something that we've talked about for the most part in the year, is the interest rates. This is still affecting a lot of the sellers in today's market, believe it or not, but we'll see how this is happening. Now, for those who are new here, my name is Clement. I'm a real estate broker in the Greater Toronto area. I'm mainly focused on residential real estate. And in this channel, really, I talk about educational stuff regarding real estate. And if you're thinking of either buying or selling and you're trying to have a good gauge of all the information that's out there, I will say this is the channel for you. And if you want to take it a step further, feel free to reach out to me. My link is in the bio here, where you can either set up a Zoom call or just send me a quick text and we can get into a quick conversation. So let's get into the first thing, which is the buyer confidence. The uncertainty of buyers has really affected the number of properties that are selling today. If you are a seller today, you're seeing really a reduced number of showings in your property, particularly if you've not marketed your property the right way in terms of the price, which I'll get into as well in the video. But the major thing here is the uncertainty the buyers are getting from obviously what's going on with the government in terms of interest rates, which also I'll talk about. And a lot of buyers have been sitting on the fence, really, just trying to watch what's happening. Like, is this the right time? Maybe I should wait a little bit longer and see how low interest rates are going to keep on dropping. And this uncertainty has just caused a lot of properties to stay in the market for as much as they have. So another way as a seller for you to have a clear understanding on the buyer uncertainty is you look at the months of inventory. The months of inventory is how long properties take to sell. And currently it's taking around a month to 2 months for that typical home to sell. So this, you're looking at a months of inventory of in and around that 3.7 range. And what this does is the buyers now have a majority of options to pick from. Now, as a buyer, if you have that kind of choice and you feel like you have a lot of time to make your decision, what does this do? The buyer will walk into a home. They might actually like the home. They might see everything that's good for them and their family. But what they choose to do here is to say, you know what? There could be something better. There could be something better. Let's just wait a little bit longer. So you'll find in a market where there's less supply, the buyers typically are willing to work with a little bit of what the property has. But in a market where there's more supply, the buyers feel like, you know what, we have time. Let me take my time in making my decision here. Let me see what else could be out there. So this is also affecting the market tremendously. Now, the second point is supply. Now, this is a major one. There's more supply in the market as opposed to the demand that is there from the buyers, which is very screwed if you think about it, because really in the Greater Toronto area, or maybe even in Ontario, really, we are at a deficit of property. So the fact that there's more supply in the market and less demand is a little bit of a surprise, which should also be an indicator for any buyer that's in the market today. This is the best time to buy because this is not going to stay for a long time. Once the new regulations are kicked in as of December 15th and you're going into 2025, the supply is going to go down and the demand is going to go high. And what this is going to do in the price, obviously, is going to increase the price. And I want to show you this in this graph here. So this is data that has come from the MLS. And the MLS listings, typically, this is where all the real estate agents, all the transactions typically go through. I'll say 98% of all listings typically go through the MLS and is registered in the MLS. So this is very good and this is very factual for you to have a good understanding of. So when we look at this is the number of active listings that have come in the market from 2015 up until 2024. This line here in blue, this line is the 10-year average number of active listings that we typically have. And this 10-year average is 16,223. It's really important to understand this number because we're going to go through it and it gives you a good indicator of where we are. So let me start drawing here a little bit. Let's have some fun with this a little bit. Okay. So if you look at, this is 24. This is where we are right now. And the number of active listings today is 24,481. This here is, if you look at the difference between this, the average 10-year average and 24,000, this is around 12,000 really. And that is a significant number. So 12,000 from the 10-year average, we are way up. And if you look at this from 2015 till 2024, this is the highest we've ever been since 2015. So that tells you something. If you look at 2023, we were at 19,638, still fairly high. So this was higher, pretty much was the highest since 2015, and then 2024 has just set a different record with this. Now, a good indicator is always good to look at what happened in 2021 because this is the time where the market was at its peak. And you can see 7,803 was the number of active listings. And in here, properties were flying off the shelf at this time. But within a day, within less than a week, homes were selling. So the demand was ridiculously high at this time in 2021. And you can see the difference on the number of active listings compared to the number of active listings to 2024. This is almost more than double. Just let that register. More than double from 2021. So if you are a seller, this here, you really have to have a good understanding because this should help you understand how to market your home because the buyers have a variety to pick from. This is why I say it's really good if you're buying today's market, this is the time to buy because not so many people are in the market. So you are competitive when you're submitting your offer. As a seller, you just have to be very strategic on how you market your home. So this is really important that I wanted to show you guys. That way you can have a good understanding on this number of active listings because this shows you a good indication on that supply. And once you understand the supply, you'll understand where your property is, understand the situation that you're in, and see what can you do. If you're just selling to move out of the country or selling to take the money and maybe retire, or just you want to rent, maybe the payment on a monthly basis is just too much for you and you're selling right now, good. Now, if you're selling to buy another home, yes, I would say be very strategic on your sell side because you're going to take the benefit on the buy end for sure. Now, the third thing is a seller expectation. Now, here is where the challenge typically comes. What happens here with a lot of sellers is you equate the value of your home with the situation that you're in, or you equate the value of your home with the kind of work that you have done to your property, which is rightfully so. The biggest thing or the biggest shift in the mind that you really want to have here is the price of your home is really set by the buyers that are coming in. I'll give you an example. You have a home, you spent $200,000 in renovations, you bought this thing in 2018, and now you're bringing it up in the market, and you think, okay, because I spent $200,000, I bought it in 2018 for, let's say $800,000. I genuinely believe this house is $1 million today. This is just an example here. Now, in that bracket or in that location that you're in, properties are selling for $900,000 to be exact, but you spend $200,000 on this. Now, when you're looking at it and you're saying this is the facts of everything that I spent, you'll have all the documents. Like, listen, I agree with you, but the value of your home is coming in at $900,000, even though you already spent $200,000 on making it much better than it is. So this is a seller expectation that a lot of sellers are facing the challenge today. And it's very important to understand the value of your home, if you put your feelings and the emotions to the side, is set according to what is in and around your neighborhood and what the buyers are bringing in. So this is the seller expectation that I'm finding a lot of sellers are still having a challenge to come to face with, I should say. A lot of them, particularly if you bought your home in 2021 or you saw your neighbor's home selling in 2021, you're just thinking, oh my goodness, I want to get a price. I don't need that exact number, but I want something close to that. But the reality of the fact is, this buyers do have a variety, do have a choice. So they'll bring you an offer and you say, no, I want to stay up there. They'll be like, okay, no problem. So those are some of the seller expectations that we really need to look at. And I also want to kind of show you this graph here, which is also important to have a good understanding. And this is the trend line in terms of the pricing. So if you look at this, so this trend line is a little bit off, but so this tells you where we are today. So as of October, the average selling price is, you're looking to be in and around that, just 1 million there, just slightly over 1.1 million. So this is the average selling price. But the reason I want to show this to you is, obviously this is a 2021 or 2022, that peak of the market, but you can see the shift that is going on. And this is part of my first point, the uncertainty that is in the market. So you see it's going up and down, and it's slowly going to keep going up. Typically the winter market is usually a little bit slow, but given the new regulations that are coming into the market, you could potentially see this number starting to go up come January, December. Typically in March is where you see the frenzy happening at that time. But it's just good to have a good understanding of the trend line. The trend line typically always goes in the upward trajectory. We've never had a situation where this trend line has gone down like this. This is what happened in, let's say, in the States, like a place like Detroit and stuff like that. But in the GTA, I don't see it happening, particularly with all this new regulations that are coming in with the mortgage as well. So the last point I have on this is the interest rates. And I've had a lot of conversations on this. If you want to watch, I have some few videos. I think I've done 3 videos on the interest rates in detail. But just to touch on this, the interest rates clearly always affect the real estate market. And as a seller, it's good to have a good understanding of this, because this will also dictate the kind of buyers that will come into your market, into purchasing your home. And another thing with this is you'll obviously get a lot of conditional offer on finance, or you could end up, because you don't want to overprice your home or accept an offer that's ridiculously high, then come closing in 30 or 40 days, and the buyer that purchased your home is not able to purchase it because maybe something happened with the interest rate. They're not able to qualify. They were able to qualify 120 days before, but coming into closing date, they're not able to do it. But to really transcend this into the seller's understanding, it's good to have a good understanding of the interest rates, because this really dictates the pricing of your home. And this is one of the things that has really affected the market today for sellers. So I know we've covered all the issues or all the major factors that are causing the seller market to be as it is today. Now, what are some of the solutions that you can encounter? What are some of the solutions that you could do today to affect your home to potentially sell, or to even get a lot more people to come in and view your home and just create that traction? There's a few things that you can do here, and I'm just going to take you through them a little bit. The first thing is the marketing price. So the marketing price is a very, very important tool. So you have to look at the micro neighborhood that you're in. Yes, there's the average, which is the Greater Toronto area, or if you are in the East End and you're in Pickering, Ajax, that matters. Or if you're in Mississauga, Brampton, in the West End, look at that. But now bring it into the micro neighborhood that you're in. Do some comparable market analysis. If you need help with this, reach out to me. I'll do this for you free of charge, and I'll let you know what the value of your home really is. So you want to have a good understanding of your micro market, and you see the highest home that has sold in your neighborhood and compare it to what yours is. Or just go and do walk into some of the open houses in your neighborhood and look at how those houses are and how do they compare to your home. Then you just come in. If you can have a conversation with a listing agent, you can have a conversation with the sellers, and they give you an honest opinion. But don't look at it from your situation, then dictate the price. That's the biggest mistake that a lot of sellers do. You look at your situation, you're like, okay, I need 300,000. I have equity that I can get 300,000 from this, but that 300,000 is pricing my home a little bit, maybe another $100,000 higher than what the market value is, but that's really still what I want. Now, you're not going to be a stubborn neighborhood, a stubborn seller in your neighborhood, because your home is not going to stay in the market for a very long time, because the buyers are not buying your situation, they're buying the value of your home. So you have to have a good understanding of that for sure. The second solution that you can look at is make sure your home is sell ready. Now, you can have it staged. I understand today in today's market, the staging might be costly and the property might stay in the market for a very long time. I get that point. But if you can work with your agent, see the kind of package that your agents have. I have very different sort of package that I always offer my sellers, but have a good understanding of what the staging that can be done, because staging really does help. Staging will bring you an extra 10, 20, sometimes even 30,000 extra, and you'll never know this. But as an agent, I can tell you staging has helped me sell a lot of homes, because when a buyer walks into your home, particularly if you have a home that a first-time home buyer is walking in, you're giving them that idea. You're not selling them an empty canvas. So that's why staging is very important in today's market. Then the last thing on this obviously is the marketing. So typically the photos, what are they doing? Sometimes on YouTube, I have some of my listings here on YouTube. I have new ones coming out. I'm going to be doing some really good stuff on marketing some of these homes out there. So I think it's going to be very exciting, but a lot of these things do help. People buy homes from looking at YouTube, because I've had people reach out to me because they're interested in buying and selling a home. I'm almost positive when you start marketing these homes, just make sure it's nicely professionally taken, and somebody can look at it and feel like, okay, this I can have a discussion with my family. Okay, look at this kitchen, look at where I can put this in here. But if you don't allow these conversations to happen because you've taken terrible pictures, that is killing you from giving you an extra 100,000, 50,000. You will never know, but it's definitely affecting you. So make sure all those things are good as well. So just to finish up, let's face it, the market for sellers is a little bit of a challenge. For some sellers, it's amazing because you understand where you are, you understand what's going on in the market, and you're not feeling like you're losing. You're not chasing something. But the reality of where we are today as sellers, there's more supply than there is buyers. So you have to have a good understanding of this to know how to navigate. But I hope this video is giving you good, valuable information and helps you in the decision that you want to make. So until next time, have a good one, guys. See you in the next video.